Hi, this is Ann McFetridge, and I'm coming to you from beautiful Palm Springs. I have the good fortune of interviewing yet another one of our ISHI ambassadors, and today Rachel is joining me, and Rachel's going to tell us about what it's like to be a graduate student pursuing a degree, and she'll talk a little bit about what makes her tick and share with us some insights about what she hopes to do in the future. Welcome, Rachel. I'm so happy to have you here. So tell everybody out there a little bit about where you're from, what you're studying, and what the focus of your research is.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rachel Kieser. I am from UNT Health Science Center, the Center for Human Identification in Fort Worth, Texas. I am told I'm a 6-year PhD student, but hopefully 5th year. But I hope to be finishing soon. My research focuses on challenge samples. And I've always been passionate about those because they're the ones that you can't get much information from, and I've always wanted to find a way to do that. And so I've focused on developing 2 to 3 methods. Finally, the last one worked, I hope, and that's the stuff I'll be presenting here at ISHI 30. And so yeah, just finding ways to identify people that have kind of just been unidentified and missing, and so that's my passion.
Excellent. So that sounds really amazing, and I can't wait to see your poster later in the week, so kudos to you. So tell me, what made you want to be an ISHI ambassador? When you heard about the opportunity, what made you say, I'm throwing my hat in the ring?
Well, top priority is the networking and just the opportunity of being an ISHI ambassador. Sometimes you kind of can fall into the background in the crowd and you're just, you don't know many people and you're just a student. And so by able to, share every aspect of ISHI and communicate and have all of those opportunities available to you, that was the most appealing thing to me for the ISHI ambassadorship.
Well, we feel very fortunate to have you. I had a great time at dinner with you and the other ambassadors last night. I learned so much about stuff that is clearly moved far in advance since when I went to school back amongst the dinosaurs. So what do you want to do after you get your degree? Have you thought about what the next step will be for you?
I have, and it's kind of a smorgasbord of potential opportunities. I would like to, of course, stay in research. I love the day-to-day of going into the lab and when something finally works, just the achievement. All I know is I definitely want to make a difference. That could be, consulting legally, teaching lawyers, teaching future forensic scientists, being in academia from the lecturing perspective. So many opportunities are there, and I kind of hope to try them all out. That would be my ultimate dream.
That sounds fantastic. I have a feeling we're going to be hearing much more from you. So I have another question for you. What inspired you to become a forensic scientist? Of all the sciences that are out there, what was it about this that you said, yeah, I want to do it? Was it a person or was it a case?
I've always been fascinated with DNA. I love that double helix. I don't know, something about it is just beautiful. But also my dad always kind of allowed only murder mysteries in my house, which is very weird from a child perspective, now that I think back, but okay. It led me to where I am today. And so, I don't know, I guess that, and then also with media kind of going into the forensics and introducing it to so many people, it just really piqued my interest, and I kind of just pursued that path, and I've never regretted it, and it just is fulfilling and incorporates everything that I love about science.
Yeah, Sharon Sheridan often says, well, why would you choose anything else? This is the coolest thing out there. And I totally agree with that. I absolutely do. So pursuing your degree, stressful, right? Totally. So how are you managing the stress? Because you need to have a personal life. So how are you finding any work-life balance, and what do you do to kind of decompress?
Well, I'm a huge advocate of work-life balance. Having a dog really helps because you have to go home, so it forces you. But also, I've always found that investing in your hobbies is a huge kind of for stress relief, something that you really enjoy and that you can really actively engage in. And so it's a perfect outlet. I like to do art on the side and like sewing, and I don't know, I feel kind of like a grandma, but I love it and it keeps me balanced. And sometimes I make it a little science-based and it's kind of like a win-win. So, yep.
So I'm a knitter, so I totally relate to the feeling like a grandma, right? So what kind of art are you doing? So is it painting? Are you sketching? Are you sculpting?
So I kind of do a lot right now. I actually was trying to make a blouse that was DNA for this conference, but I need to work on my time management. But I do a lot of like baby gifts. I make little stuffed animals based on whatever they are designing the nursery like. Also, I try to do resin sculptures. I like to make little skulls and things that I can't buy that just make it very personal. And so, yeah.
That's great. I often find that scientists have this artistic streak in them that you wouldn't imagine. Some of the most creative folks at Promega are technical writers, and they are creating jewelry on the side. They're painting scarves. They're doing all of that. So it's really cool to see that you're doing that as well. I love it. All right, next question. This is an easy one. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
That's actually the thing I know most. I've always said that when I don't know what's going on with my method or whatever, because it's been a lot of years of trial and error, I wish I could magic school bus it into the tube and just be, Mrs. Fitz and seeing what's happening, figure out where those primers are. So that would be my superpower, so I could answer all of my problems. But yeah.
Love it. I got to say that's a first. I've heard the invisibility, the read minds, the talking to animals, but magic school bus, I love it. So, all right, describe to me what your perfect day is like. Who are you with? What are you doing? Are you working? Are you far from work? Are you at home? What's that look like?
Well, if Dr. Badoli is listening, I would be at work 24/7. No, like a perfect day is when I finally was able to work with this team in the Netherlands and figure out a method that actually was able to identify and target some SNPs within really ancient DNA, about 950 years old. So it's really interesting. And so that was quite a monumental day for me. But, when I'm not at work, a perfect day would honestly just be relaxing, being around my husband, my dog, maybe sadly playing Magic the Gathering with my husband, because I don't know, it's kind of our date night. We get like little competition toys. Oh, not toys, decks. And so it's just nice. It's nice to win too in that. But that'd be the icing, on the cake.
So I know you're relatively young, but there's an up-and-coming generation already. So what are your hopes for future generations of female forensic scientists? What would you like to see happen for them?
Well, I would really like that the difference between male and female applicants or scientists wasn't really there. It's just based on merit. But also, I would like more opportunities, not just saying necessarily for female scientists, but just, forensic scientists in general, that, especially in research and academia, you kind of either have to make the opportunity for yourself, persuade someone to take a risk, take a chance on you, or just, make it happen. And so I wish there were more opportunities, people that were more open to, let's just see what could happen. Let's let you go down this, exploratory research pathway and see what happens. Because some really great things can happen when you just kind of let loose and trust yourself.
That's a really good point. I have to say that one of the biggest challenges, I think, is that people are holding themselves back because they're afraid. So being able to take that risk. But often what enables you to do that is somebody that's there that says, yeah, okay, we're going to try this. If it doesn't work, no biggie. We're going to try something else. And to have that support network, etc. That's terrific. So is there anything that you would do differently if you had to start over when you're thinking back, when you decided to pursue this? Would you say, I'd go a different path?
Absolutely no. Honestly, I have kind of gone by degree. just seeing where the universe took me. I decided to pursue a master's at George Washington University just to see if I liked research, if I wanted to stay in it, and I obviously did. I tried some casework when I worked for NCIS or interned for NCIS, and it pushed me more towards research. I love, being in an enclosed room and at the bench for 14 hours. Like, I love that. And so I wouldn't change a single thing, honestly. And so, yep.
So, what words of wisdom would you offer to young women who are entering this field? Is there one piece of advice that was given to you that has stuck with you, or do you have your own advice that you'd like to pass on?
Stick to your guns, know what you want, go after it, and if anyone tries to tell you differently, either use that as fuel to continue following your passion, or, just say that's their problem and keep going after whatever you want.
If you could do anything else, what would you do?
So I've always kind of had these weird side ambitions. I either wanted to go into art restoration or like medieval art, Renaissance art. I don't know, if something about it was really appealing. Start my own crafting store, have a chocolatier, or oddly be a radiologist. Oh. Something about being in a dark room just looking at x-rays is really appealing. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do it all. Oh, also a children's book writer. Wow. And so maybe I'll just try to be a Renaissance woman and accomplish it all. But yep.
Well, I have to say, after meeting you, if anybody can pull it off, it's you. I've been so impressed with your passion and your drive and your integrity and just your candor. It's been a true delight to have an opportunity to talk with you, and I look forward to seeing what this week brings for you, but also what your career brings for you. And I have a feeling 5-10 years from now, we're going to be at ISHI 40, and you're going to be, leading one of the panel discussions talking about the significant advances that you and others have made. So bravo to you. Thanks for spending the time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.